You've got to involve the children or the young adults if they're at the high school level. We've actually had our students lead these STEM nights where parents are invited to be able to see their children put these machines and softwares in practice. So, what I would say is have a comprehensive plan, but at the core of this plan, you need to include children. If you want the biggest bang for your buck, if they're presenting, be assured that the parents are going to be here. And most importantly, they're going to be engaged.
You're listening to the smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ochs. This is our District Talk segment where we interview district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday shine online. Now, let's get back to the interview.
Hi, Dr. Jesus Vaca, Superintendent here of the beautiful Somis School District out in Ventura County. We serve about 250 students here in our district. We're a single school district.
Thanks for joining us here today. It's good to have you. So I want to start off with, we feature school districts of all shapes and sizes and backgrounds, and we love them all because we're all dedicated to one thing: helping students navigate this new digital world that we have with these Ferraris that we're giving them, which are the digital devices. And we want to make sure kids are safe online, doctor, so they can someday shine online and go into this awesome world. The first question I want to ask you, doctor, is when it comes to your district, what's one of your biggest accomplishments as a district over the past, let's say, 1 to 4 years?
Having everybody online in terms of how to use these new gadgets. So we've been able to do that through parent workshops and then coordinating with Ventura County Office of Education technology team, not just the operationals, but also the support side. So what happens when these gadgets go awry, and how do parents reach out to the school to get support?
What advice do you have for other districts who may deal with a social media problem that happens on an app or originates on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, but then creates a very real problem on campus?
Well, there's got to be a connecting point, and that connecting point for us, it's not school and it's not community. They're functioning within the real world here. Most of these chats, negative or positive, are going to come back on campus. And students and parents need to know that we have oversight when it does come onto campus. So it's better to be well aware of it because there is no line of it happened at home, so you can't deal with it.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you're so right. We have oversight. And for many of the parents or other district leaders that are watching this right now, many of us know that if you bring your phone to work, the company can put their email on there, but they can access all of the email. Everything you're using that's company distributed or used for company time is definitely the company has oversight. So does the district for the betterment of the students, right, doctor?
That's correct. One of the things that we all have to know is that if it gets into a legal case and discovery, all the content within that phone and conversations are open for review. And so, like I said, it's better to be informed and know that than to have a false understanding and do whatever you're doing at home.
Yeah, it's so true. The next question is a little bit more towards the positive side, doctor. Can you provide some examples of how your students may have used their social media in a positive or productive way that may have benefited themselves or their community?
Absolutely. We have an actual recording channel here at our school that kids put together as a production. And using their smartphones, they're able to go out in the school and record certain events or examinations that they may be taking where they can use their phones so that we can promote it on a positive end. Phones are great. It's just using them in a manner which is going to be beneficial. So not only are they recording, they're also putting these in practice where kids as young as there can take a look and see how to use them in a positive note.
So wise to start very early to teach them how to use it in a productive and positive manner. Now, doctor, what suggestions might you have for parents across the country, in other communities and in your community, to encourage their kids to use technology in a positive way, both in the classroom and at home?
Well, you know what? It's a very timely question right now, Josh, with artificial intelligence coming in. I think the biggest factor is understanding the ups and downs of new technology. So what I would say is when we got the Chromebooks during the pandemic, there were a lot of folks who didn't really know the operational side of a Chromebook. So once they got to the operational, then you can go and promote different activities that support their children's education, such as practicing additional mathematics or reading with the support of a machine and with the capacity to reach out through a lot of the different chats.
There's a lot to think about when students are online. I love that districts are starting to move into how do we teach a student how to think about their future rather than telling them what not to do. So, Doctor, my next question is what are your suggestions for other districts to increase parent engagement? And as a follow up question to that, are there any specific channels, event types that get the biggest turnout to get the most parents engaged with discussing how they can keep their kids safe?
As with anything else, you've got to involve the children or the young adults if they're at the high school level. What I've done here is we've actually had our students lead these STEM nights where parents are invited to be able to see their children put these machines and softwares in practice. So, what I would say is have a comprehensive plan, but at the core of this plan, you need to include children. If you want the biggest bang for your buck, if they're presenting, be assured that the parents are going to be here. And most importantly, they're going to be engaged as they'll be listening to their kids deliver, how to navigate certain websites or how to use technologies, again, to use it as additional practice, whether in math, social studies, or science. So those are things that we have done here at Somis with great success.
Such a pro tip there. We're hearing that from a lot of districts. It's hard to get parents to come out to a parent night, but it's much more effective to get them to come to a student presentation night, whether it's STEM education, choir, a recital, or anything else where the students might perform. Parents will say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I can't miss that. It's too important, right?
They love their kids. That's the one thing that's common across our nation.
Yes.
And when their kids have a stage, then they're going to be here. And so you're going to accomplish what you're out to originally try to accomplish, and that is to teach them. But if you use their children to funnel that, you're going to be a lot more successful. And like I said, it's been proven here at our school, and it's been proven countywide.
Yeah, and it's really nationwide. We're hearing that as well. So you're right in line with best practices. Kudos to you on that. I've got one more question about the very hottest question in the country about AI. But before we get to that, I want to do a special thank you to the 100 districts that have partnered with us nationwide to let us lead the parent engagement evenings at your school districts. Thank you so much. We have a lot of AI events coming up here soon. We've got a lot of screen time events. We talk about reels, YouTube, shorts, all kinds of different topics that are sucking our kids in, making them numb. How do we turn them into a positive thing? Well, that's where all of our experts, all of our teens, and everybody else are a part of our program so that we can make you the most informed parent on the block, our VIP, Very Informed Parent program, thanks to the many school districts out there that have partnered with us to give it to parents. Parents, if you're in there, remember you've got a dashboard. You can log in, you get unlimited access thanks to your school district to our whole program, 450 resources in English, in Espanol, in Mandarin, and about 10 other languages. No one's left behind. So if you're a school district out there in the program, you can host your own parent night event in any language you want. Okay, Doctor, we're back to you. Biggest question on everybody has is how is your school district approaching AI tools like Chat GPT?
So I want to start by saying, Josh, that there's two levels here at our school, and I think it's the same across the nation. One is the Chat GPT function, right? What can we do? Can we do comparisons? Can we write an essay? Can we facilitate an essay? And so the other one that a lot of people forget is all the AI that's integrated into software. So, for example, at our school, we're using a reading program and the writing program that literally gets them started on writing or reading through a sentence starters. I'm going to write a story on October. All you have to say is the character, the time, and then most importantly, the ending, and it'll write it for you. So you cannot be afraid of artificial intelligence and you can't assume. So you've got to give right into the middle of AI and understand it and how to use it in a positive way with your kiddos.
You bring up a good point. What you're really saying too is it's embedded in everything now. It seems like every app has a little button that says, do you want to ask the AI assistant? Do you want to do this? Do you want to help? And it really is interesting. Tonight, I'm actually teaching an AI class for parents, how to become the homework hero so that you can sit next to your kids. And if you haven't done calculus as a parent for decades, it'll teach both of you calculus so you can, to do that. What is your biggest tip for parents who are overwhelmed with social media, doctor? What would you say to them so they're less hard on themselves? As I used to be one of the top social media safety speakers, parents would always say to me, Josh, I'm just not tech savvy. I want you to speak to that so parents can be less hard on themselves. We can learn together. And number two, where should they start, doctor? What do you suggest?
Absolutely. It brings a smile to my face. My mom, who's 79, Josh, is using social media at all times. I was in shock when she told me, "Hey, I'm on Facebook and I access these to talk to your aunt or your uncle." Yeah, so you start in your comfort level, right? How exactly will you be using social media to communicate? Are you going to use it as a support app? And so once you find out or figure out the area that you want to tap into, then that's how you begin. And as anything else, you have to practice. You got to get on it. And for some of these folks, 70 and over, they can't get enough of it because of the connection with other folks who live throughout the country and even in some different nations.
It really does come back to the human connection. Absolutely. And they're using it in a positive, productive way. Absolutely. Doctor, I want to thank you for your time here today. We really appreciate it. For the rest of you listening, watching, and learning with us, thanks for all your support of smartsocial.com as we keep hundreds of thousands of students each year safe on social media so they can someday shine online and launch into that dream career, that dream future that they have, whether it's college, trade school, internship, or anything else. We're so honored to have so many supporters nationwide. I'm Josh Ochs, the host of the podcast. And as my book says, remember to keep it light, bright, and polite because your kids are watching. We'll see all of you on the next episode. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to our smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ochs. This was our District Talk segment where we interview school district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday launch into their future by shining online. This episode was brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP program. It's called the Very Informed Parent Program, which helps you engage your students with teen-led video lessons. Stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter and discover hidden features on trending apps on teens' phones and our 54 plus live parent and student-friendly events every single year. You can click on the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. And if you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. You can click the links below to reach out. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.